is the story on the front page of the Express today. So there we are, outrage over order not to jail rapists as prisons are full. There we are. And this is a particular issue that's come up because Lord Edis, who's the senior presiding judge for England and Wales, has reportedly said to judges, look, you've got to delay the sentencing of convicts from next week if they're currently on bail because the prisons are full. So essentially somebody who's been, let's say, convicted of something quite serious, very serious, like rape or even historic child sex abuse, they may not be able to go to jail because there isn't a cell for them, Jacqui.
I mean, this is a shocking indictment of the state of our criminal justice system. Our country is broken and it's really manifest in the system, not just in prisons, although that's bad enough, but also, of course, in the amount of time it's taking for people to get through court cases, which is terrible for the victims, awful for people who are having to give evidence. I mean, it's not great if you're innocent either, that you then have to wait for ages to have your case. And then if you are guilty, either you are going into a prison that is severely overcrowded, where you're unlikely to get the sort of rehabilitation necessary to prevent you ending up back there again, or your sentencing, as we now see, is being delayed. I mean, that it's utter chaos, and there is only one lot of people responsible, and it's the government.
I guess we never really spend money on prisons. Probably true under Labour as well, because if you have a budget and you say, "And we're going to make the prisons all nice and comfy," everyone goes mad. But you can't sell it.
The government did promise 20,000 more prison places. They've only delivered 5,000, and they've sort of shelved the 20,000 promise.
OK, Rebecca, what do you think?
I mean, it's a farce. At what point does somebody not go, hang on a minute, we've got a problem. Why is it taken until now? Oh, hang on a second, we can't do this anymore because the prisons are full. It's been a long time coming. You know, I was working in criminal defence back in 2020, and absolutely the court system is a shambles. The amount of time it's taking, the admin that it goes into these cases is ridiculous. And I hate to sound too UKIP-y, but I'm going to say it.
Go on, do it.
Right. But the country's full. We are full. We need to close the borders because we can't cope. We are at breaking point. So the 20 million extra places. So actually the cost... sorry, yes. 20 million.
20 million
so
would
the
be
20,000.
of the population.
Yes, the 20,000 extra places was at a cost of 4 billion. How much money are we spending on hotels for the migration problem? I'm not being funny, but it'd go a heck of a long way towards helping this.
Well, one of the proposals that the government is now toying with to solve this problem is to send our prisoners overseas.
Abroad, yeah.
To
have a holiday prison.
Well, is that viable? Where do you send them?
Well, the suggestion
Don't say Rwanda.
Well, no, because that hasn't worked, has it? The suggestion is, I think there's somewhere else in Europe where they are looking at where they have empty prison cells, and they're thinking Estonia, I think it was, Norway.
We're talking about renting them.
Well, there is, we could set up a prison rental system where we build extra prisons and rent places to other countries.
Like a sort of prison Airbnb.
Yeah. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. What do we do? Nick in Devon, hi.
Oh, hiya, Jeremy.
How is beautiful Devon today?
Well, it's very nice, and before I say anything, actually, I'd just like to thank you for the interest you showed in the Bideford volunteers trying to open up the railway. Much appreciated.
Oh, not at all, because whenever I'm in that area, I always get this is a bit of old train line that Mr. Beeching closed in the 60s, and they've got amazing volunteers who are rebuilding it, and it looks wonderful. Are you working down there, are you?
Well, I know quite a bit about it. I've had a lot to do with it in the past. The Tarka line as well. So
yeah, wonderful. Oh, it's beautiful down there.
Yeah.
So, OK, what would you like to say on this very different story?
Well, it is a very different story, isn't it? I just really want to say, I'm just flabbergasted at this sort of incompetent, useless government that we seem to have at the moment. This is another story of their sort of crash ridiculous sort of, policies. The thing is that we've known about this for years. People like the Howard League have been saying for absolutely ages and ages, our prisons aren't fit for purpose and we're running out of space. They they knew this. They knew this was something coming down the track, and now we're here.
Yeah.
So now they're saying they're going to actually tell judges or advise judges that we're not going to, that they should not be sending rapists to prison or whatever, which is totally and absolutely ridiculous. I mean, they
maybe you go to a system where you have one in, one out. So you say, look, this guy's committed 3 rapes. He's got to go to jail. So you send him to Wandsworth, and you then say we need to get somebody out. So you take out the person who served the most time or done the least crime, and you know, they go out the outdoor when the other person goes in the indoor. I mean, that's essentially what we're going to be doing, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I totally agree. That is a sensible way of doing it. Why the heck that hasn't been sort of thought about and sort of acted upon before now, God knows. And why we're in this sort of situation now, it's just sort of totally
well,
ridiculous.
I suppose, thank you, Nick. I suppose we could see it coming. Good luck with the Bideford line. Kathleen in the West Midlands. Kathleen, how are you?
I'm all right, thank you. Good morning, panel.
Good morning.
First of all, I agree. The point is, as I say, our prisons are Victorian and they're not fit for housing people. But I'm saying that if the victim knows that particular person's been raped and they know that person's got a sentence but cannot go to prison, people are in more danger. Because if that rapist will know, they can't send me to prison, I can do it again. But not only that, people say, well, why don't you monitor them? But there's not enough people to monitor them. I would, as I say, the Victorian buildings, there should be new prisons put in to replace the Victorian prisons. And also, it's the victims that are going to suffer, because not only are they going to know that person's had a sentence, but they're going to think, well, is he going to come back again?
Of course, of course.
But I do agree that if they've, say, gone to prison for, and no crime shouldn't go unnoticed, but if they have gone to prison for a minor crime, then I might look at thinking, well, that is a minor crime, even though I don't think
well,
it's
maybe,
right.
OK, all right, understood. Maybe we need an amnesty. I know you won't like this, Rebecca, where we say, OK, we're going to, anyone convicted before 1999 gets out tomorrow.
No.
This is the kind of situation we're in.
Where I know that's the situation that we're in, but we can't do that. Where is the justice in this? This is all the incompetence of our government, and the country's broken. When we're having to talk about releasing murderers and rapists, what on earth is it coming to?
Well, I know, but we've got no prison spaces. So the priority surely is locking up people who have just been convicted. Because, as Kathleen says, they're the ones you really can't allow to roam.
Kathleen also makes a really important point about how this would feel if you were the victim of that crime, where you've been through the court case, the person's been convicted, you assume they're going to prison, and then there's yet another delay before that happens.
OK, more after the break.